What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, finally bringing you that Zoodiac Tri-Brigade gameplay video I've been talking about. And I gotta say, I really enjoy this deck. I feel like it's kind of forced me to be like a better player, is probably the best way to describe it. So this is like something I really highly recommend for, maybe getting into the competitive scene. Like, I've lost so many duels because I've done things wrong, but I think that's also one of the cool parts about the deck is that the ceiling is so high. Like, it gets better as you get better, if that makes sense. Everybody's playing Invoke Dogmatica, by the way, and I really just kind of wanted to show how insane, this kind of is. Dark Ruler no More is always nice, so I can force out the Shadal Ruck, so I don't have to worry about it sending anything to the graveyard. But Dark Ruler no More here solves a lot of my issues. And you would think with Tri-Brigade stuff, which is kind of why I'm not in favor of, the completeness of it, like where it's pure, uh, because of situations like this. I mean, I was able to get through a Winda and Makaba and all that good stuff. And he still has a Lancy, obviously, so I have a lot of work to do, but nonetheless, I feel decent enough. It's kind of difficult, I mean, because you see the Zeus here, so obviously, like, it's a bit of a conflict, like, do you set the Revolt or not? I'm not sure. Here we go. And, Kit can work its magic. And the cool thing, actually, about this and what kind of favors the Zoodiac Tri-Brigade build over Invoked is that one card can get, the wind off the board. And that's just under one special summon. And not a lot of decks can do that, quite simply put. I think this is a really nice tool. And Imperial Order cards like that, whoa, wow, it, like, really kind of ends everything here. So, I mean, oh my gosh, if you guys don't know about Revolt, I mean, it just triggers everything. You're putting cards into your graveyard, you're adding cards to your hand, and especially if you can get the Link 2 that gives you Revolt, you're triggering, well, like a 5-chain essentially at that point. Oh yeah, this was one of my worst mistakes. Like, they surrendered because they didn't have anything, but yeah, very silly, right? All these cards are just dead, by the way, which makes this card so good. But don't bounce something you don't need to. I mean, bounce cards, when they're necessary. Big brain play. I make a lot of mistakes, so I try to pick the ones where I made some like really glaring, obvious ones, so I could show them out to you. And these are all standard. I mean, this is pretty much what you're gonna see out of anybody who takes Invoke Shadal Dogmatica to their to a tournament. So the Ash came down. I was still able to go through some of my plays, and I actually don't mind like overstacking here in the beginning, because if they get it off the board like that, exactly like that, then your Tri-Brigade Revolt and all that kind of stuff is like filled to the brim. Getting more resources to the graveyard is more important, I think, than like potentially later on in the game giving yourself some like a chance to do something. That makes sense. I also I like Solemn Strike in the deck. It's obviously something you can swap out going second, but you have so many hand traps at this point. In the deck, because it's such a small engine that you can play like extra cards on top of your normal hand trap lineup. So the Revolt's just, or I should say the Omnis Omen is out there. I think people call it Shurag. Yeah, super polymerization doesn't really do much. I mean, the other only target is like this. It's like a dark. Yeah, I actually don't even know how I feel. Like, advantage is never a really big thing with these decks. So, like, you don't want to discard a lot of stuff often, but here we go. Construct is going to, destroy it. Let's see if I have a little bit of life points left. Anything I can top deck, like a Tri-Brigade monster, maybe? Well, there we go. You play someone in the deck, so it's really not like, oh, wow, I'm so lucky, right? I keep forgetting, actually, how good the Ancient Warrior card is. It really, like, helps you, like, go through your plays. Especially if you have something that you can send to the graveyard afterwards to give you Tri-Brigade monsters in return, like what I just showed. All these chains, and obviously this one can't be responded to, so I'm going to end up blowing up his board here. I think I may have ended up swapping those on accident. I meant to put this in my hand, but that's okay. And I can attack into this. We'll see what he has going next turn. Lancey is really tough against the deck. There are some glaring weaknesses, and it actually kind of surprises me that it won that YCS, but what are you going to do? So the Nerval can come down. I can banish all of this to go into the 2. And at that point, he just, kind of surrendered. More Invoke. There's like 3 more of these. Just want to show you some of the more of the like meta stuff. I was playing in competitive, hoping to see a little bit of something else, but it never came. But I think a lot of these hands are really good, especially for him. He's got the Infinite Impermanence. We'll see where he decides to use it. I kind of feel like that's where it should have been. But he does go here. So my plays are stopped. I mean, there are definitely ways to stop the Tri-Brigade, no doubt. But at the same time, I mean, I have so much like 2 Solemn Strikes and Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler. I don't think he's going to be able to get very far in his plays. I'm not worried about dying, that's for sure. Ecclesia comes down. He tries to chain the Call by the Grave, but I like really have to stop this. Dogmatic Punishment would be absolutely deadly to me. And like I said, you have a 1-card way to get rid of, the window. So it's not really too bad. Which is exactly what I'm going to do here. Boom, see you later. This does have protection, but I'm trying to do it for battle, for the battle phase, obviously. This will let me add 1 to the hand, and obviously I can send a Nerval to also add something to my hand, which I can use to extend my plays, send more resources to the graveyard. Special summon this, go into 2. Yeah, obviously I'm going to go into the one that gives me the trap card. I can send that back, and now I have an Appaloosa, plus Revolt, and also the Solemn Strike, so I feel pretty good. Lightning Storm is like a really bad card against this deck for sure. So formats for that's in. I can negate this through like a myriad of ways, and he didn't have anything else after that, so he obviously had to concede. Ooh, triple Tactical Talents. I think that's actually a pretty decent card. And I got the Ash. You have so many hand traps. You're always going to have I would say like 90% of the times you're going to have at least one form of disruption. The Tanky is really just bait, because if you have like Rapier plus a Zoodiac, that's full combo for all of your disruptions. Nerval can get sent to the graveyard at the same time, giving you more resources. I can special summon back 1 of the tries, go into the Flaget. I can summon into 4 here. I think this is like if you're feeling greedy at that point, because this will help you add something back to your hand. I didn't have lethal, so I figured, get the damages now. Go into the Appaloosa and get the Tri-Brigade Revolt. So there we go. 2 negate Appaloosa plus a non-targeting banishment. I don't know why he did that. It's actually kind of unfortunate because he didn't really have anything at that point. Oh, he's trying to bait me out into the Gamma. But I have a negate for it. Although I think he's going to try to do it here, and I think I just wouldn't respond. I'm not sure. Because it doesn't really make a difference, and I kind of would rather keep the Appaloosa negate. This is a very good opening, obviously. And I can keep sending that to the graveyards and the Nerval to get a play starter. I get the Caress. I don't know how far I go into this necessarily. Yeah, I think I probably should have gone into some Tri-Brigade stuff, so that was a mistake, no doubt. I definitely do not want the Ecclesia to go off. That's always my goal for any of this. Goes for the Fleur, okay. I mean, that's fine. And now he's going to start giving me my graveyard. He just added 4 more resources. And now I have the Revolt. I can bring these back. All of these are going to trigger again, of course. 2, 3, and I think that was it for that one. I add to my hand a Caress and send 1 to the graveyard at that point. You don't want to keep sending Nervals and the kits to the graveyard, because you want to be able to use their effects for the next turn when you can use it, just like that. Oh, I had to make it. Yeah, so I had an extra Caress in my hand. I probably should have kept. I think I had something else. I should have kept it, because now I think I'm eventually going to be able to summon the Caress, but I can't use the effect to banish again. So silly little mistake by me. I do have shuffling back into the graveyard at this point. We'll see what I end up doing with it. Appaloosa, Revolt. I think I sent back the Nerval, because I have Revolt, so I'm going to be able to get the resources back to my hand anyway, so it doesn't really matter at that point. I'm going to negate that. He does have the Cypher Gear Gamma. I have such a powerful form of disruption. Plus, I had the Effect Veiler that I kept in my hand. He's going to go to try to attack. This would have been lethal, but I think he knew I had it. I don't know if he's trying to bait it out or what it was. I guess that was kind of his only choice. I'll banish the Ecclesia. He also, I don't think he can go to the extra deck anymore because he used Nadir Servant. And, of course, that would have been the end of the game, because these would have gotten banished at the graveyard. Or would have banished after the turn was over. Jeez, I don't even know what I just said. Some of these are kind of sillier. These are all in competitive. I don't really know why anyone would play Galaxy Eyes in competitive. But, nonetheless, he's going to, he's going to play competitive decks. That's what it comes down to, right? Flaget plus the kit. That can go into a 2. I can now use 2 more of those to go into the Ancient Warrior. Kit's going to send something to the graveyard, probably just some fuel for me. And I'm going to be able to, send something to pop something back to his hand to also banish something. And I had 2 hand traps, just so happened. He tries to go into the Photon Blast Dragon. If you can stop the Galaxy as normal summon, like 99% of their plays are going to be done simply because Union Carrier got banned. That goes into a Soul Flare Dragon, so I can go ahead and send that back up. I think he's going to try to get the Galaxy Knight back to his hand, but now that he doesn't control a Galaxy monster, he can't normal summon without tributing it. And the cool thing, about this is Ancient Warriors, like, you can chain Revolt and then chain this too, and obviously the effect will still go through, which is really nice. Also, you shouldn't be afraid to activate Revolt, even when your opponent doesn't have anything, because, think about the resources that get stacked through, plus the Link 2 is already in the graveyard at this point, so you'll just be able to add it back to your hand. That was the reason I wanted to show you this replay. That was just a Photon Orbital. And he goes for the Effect Veiler, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure I have enough, for lethal anyways. I didn't have to use the effect necessarily. And just 3 more. Here's another one against Galaxy Eyes. See, he did have the Lancey, and I think this is like one of the examples of why I think you should play the Zoodiac engine for sure. 1, 2. Okay, so now I know that I can't use Zoodiac stuff, which is really bad. But I will be able to attack and then go into the Zeus. And I still have the Revolt. Again, a card like Infinite Impermanence too, I actually think I'm not a huge, giant fan of. But he does go for the Kaiju, so I guess it ends up working out, for the most part. He goes for the Bujin to try to special summon a couple of level rank 8s. He tries to go for the Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. I also have the negate for that. And he tries to go to the end phase, but I'm definitely not going to let that happen. I'm going to, go into the 4 to banish probably the Bujin. I already have enough tack to get over the Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. It's already used its effect. It's potato at that point too, by the way. And I can start shuffling something back. And something with special summon to the zone, a winged beast monster. Both of them are going to end up getting banished, and that was the end of the game. Here's Flunder Reese. This actually is a pretty bad matchup because of the they use cards like Dimension Shifter. That's really tough. Harpy's Featherstorm, I guess, is pretty rough anyways. But at the same time, the Empin negates special summon monsters in attack position, and obviously Link monsters cannot be in defense position. But this is a good duel, kind of like fighting through all of that. I don't have my effects like for 2 turns now, but I still can go into the Zoodiac Barbaro. Nothing can really stop it from attacking directly. And to have the Infinite Impermanence, I mean, the deck, it feels kind of weak, but strong at the same time. All of it depends on if you draw your Infinite Impermanences, your Effect Veilers, your Ashes, all that. So that's pretty weak. I don't expect to see a lot of representation just because of how susceptible it is to that kind of stuff. Alright, Tanky can come down. I mean, this is a super duper good board. Because you can make Flijet without going into a Tri-Brigade, like, at all. And to have Karass in your hand, obviously. It's just a free extender. I haven't even used the effect of this to a Flijet to special summon. Alright, I can go into the Omen. That can special summon itself. That can then give me another Tri-Brigade monster. Going into the Appaloosa. And I think I made a mistake. I don't think I used Kit's effect to special summon the Ancient Warrior, so my bad. Nonetheless, the board is still pretty good. And I may end up making another gameplay video for this, because I really do feel like I'm not going as far as I did, like even in that combo tutorial I showed. So it takes some time. But yeah, this is like, this is just not a good situation for him. Because now I'm going to get a 4, chain going. And at that point, he's like, okay, this is probably not going to go my way. And yeah, that is a pretty long look at Zoodiac Tri-Brigade, a really basic look. If you guys want to know more about the deck, you can look up my step-by-step tutorial. And I think I'm going to do another deck profile later today. I usually don't try to take 2 days off. Special circumstances, of course. But now everything should be good. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.